What was the last legitimate job that you had?
I was a waitress
Okay, where?
at a club.
Is that what you call it, waitressing?
What are these kids on, you know, they receive any type of government assistance or anything?
She gets food stamps every month, and I
no,
don't see
ma'am.
any.
You get food stamps? Where are the food stamps going?
In my house.
Every parent has an explanation for being absent from their kids' lives. But when this mom tried defining waitressing her father's revelation about her real job, leaves the entire courtroom stunned *****.
Well, Your Honor, my daughter, who's living some type of life that I have no idea what it is, she drops her kids off every day and does what she wants to and doesn't leave any money for food or for any kind of things that the kids need. So I need some help financially because she doesn't give me anything. I mean, just me giving my money out of my pocket that I retired with. So I need some help, seriously.
Okay, and where did you retire from?
From the school district,
Okay. How long were you there?
20 years.
Okay, great. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking in your daughter's kids because they could be a number of places, but thankfully they're with a grandparent. What do you have to say for yourself? First off, let me ask this question. Is what he just said true?
I mean, they
It's a yes or a no. Is what he just said true?
Yes, it's true.
What's wrong with you?
It's nothing wrong with me. It's just stuff I be needing to do, and I need somebody to watch the kids, so I take them over there.
Every day?
Yes, every day. I don't see the issue.
Excuse me. You all will not address each other. You will address me, okay? And I definitely understand Dad's frustration. And I'm going to ask you too. Every day you have something to do that requires you to be away from your kids. How many kids are we talking?
2.
2. You left 2 kids with him? What do you have to do, ma'am, that's so important every day that you cannot have your own kids?
I gotta make money, so.
Doing what? What do you do for a living?
Whatever I need to do, honestly.
Ma'am, what does that even mean?
Little dabble here, little dabble there, just different stuff.
You know what? You obviously came here to waste my time, and I am not about to play with you. What was the last legitimate job that you had?
I was a waitress
Okay, where?
at a club.
Is that what you call it, waitressing?
Yes, it was waitressing. What else was I doing?
You don't want me to tell you.
I want you to tell me.
She was strolling the streets like a prostitute. I mean, it's like, because you never see her until she dropped the kids off, and then I don't see her for 2 or 3 days.
That's what he heard. He don't know if that's true.
Yeah.
Who told him that? The streets?
I guess so. The streets had to tell him,
I hear the streets tell the truth, right?
sometimes
They talk, right?
the streets talk, but sometimes the streets be lying, and that's what they doing at
Well,
this moment.
I don't think they're lying on you now, ma'am. Every day your kids are with your dad. No.
Retired school teachers. Quiet life turns upside down when his daughter makes daily drop-offs of his grandkids. Without a dollar of support, did you know that over 2 million American grandparents empty their savings to raise grandchildren? Sadly, this grandfather's case is part of this ugly statistics on top of his daughter's inability to explain what keeps her so busy. In between his pension checks and her mysterious dabbling, something certainly doesn't add up. And we're about to find out more when the streets Talk. Family Court takes notes. Subscribe for more opening cases. ***.
How much money were you bringing home monthly?
Between $7,000 to $8,000 a month.
All right. Okay. And that's all tips?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I am going to do is base your child support on that $7,000 a month. So that would bring your yearly salary to $84,000 a year. Yeah, you can shake your head all you want to, but that's exactly what I'm going to do, ma'am. This is extremely disappointing that you leave your kids every day with your dad and you're not giving him any type of financial support. What are these kids on, they receive any type of government assistance or anything?
She gets food stamps every month,
Oh,
and I
no,
don't see
ma'am.
any.
You get food stamps? Where are the food stamps going?
in my house.
Asterisk, mom's club job brings in $7. 0 to $88,000 monthly, all in tips, while her father struggles on a teacher's pension. To feed her kids, the judge's questions about those late-night absences reveal an income that could easily support 2 children if mom chose her priorities differently.
No.
You know what? I'm not about to play with you. So this is what we're going to do. Salary, $84,000 a year. That brings your gross to $7,000. Your net to $5,508.87, which will make your child support obligation $1,377. Now, you said that you were receiving, don't look confused. I don't even want to hear
That's
it.
too. I can't pay that every month.
You were not making those faces when you were out in those streets.
But
so
I
don't come
can't-
in here
I
trying to
can't-
make, excuse me, don't come in here trying to make those faces. I am not trying to hear it. I've heard enough.
Your Honor,
And you are in the wrong. Yes, sir.
she has a man living with her too, so just in case you didn't
You
know.
You
know
don't
what?
need to
You know
tell her
what?
who in my house though, Daddy.
You
Like
know
for
what?
real.
Okay.
I'm just telling the truth. I mean, it
I
is what
mean,
it
it
is.
sounds like
In here
Daddy telling
just
the truth.
tattletelling.
Well, it sounds like he needs to tattletale on you. Somebody need to. You are ridiculous right now. Sir,
Yes.
she receives food stamps. So I'm assuming there is some Medicaid or something
Yes,
these kids
yes.
are getting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So what I'm going to do is do 9% of that $7,000 for your reimbursement to Medicaid. That comes out to $496. So $1,377 plus the $496 reimbursement to Medicaid, that make your total monthly child support obligation $1,873.
I don't even know men that pay that much money every month. So why I gotta pay that every month?
I don't know too many women that just take their kids and go drop them off at their parents' house, and they have a whole man staying in the house with them.
It's my dad. Y'all act like I
You
dropped
know
them
what?
off with anybody.
These are your kids. Is there anything further, ma'am?
No, I guess I need to go make some money in these streets for that.
Okay, well,
almost
you know what?
$2,000
That is your business. As long as these streets pay Pawpaw.
If you thought this case was wild, this parent's attempt to dodge support leaves even the judge short for words. Asterisk.
So I'm sharing custody with our 12-year-old daughter now, and I'm just wanting a little more help with finances because as she's getting older, expenses are getting a little higher, and sports, dances, going out hanging with girls, and yeah, I just want a little more help on my end. I'm paying insurance already, and
Okay. How much are you paying in insurance?
130.
All right. And what is your daughter's name?
Autumn.
Autumn. Oh, what a beautiful name.
Thank you.
Autumn. Okay. So what type of expenses does she have that are increasing?
Yeah, so she's doing volleyball right now, and we're thinking that she's going to be doing that in high school as well.
Okay.
So just, athletic wear and then traveling, going to places. I want to go and support her and as well as her, but I'm the one having to drive and take her if I don't want her to ride the bus because I don't feel her safe doing that. And if it's really far away, maybe like an hour or more, I'll
Okay.
drive her, but if it's 30 minutes or less, I'll usually let her typically go.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay. Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to her?
She's just a growing girl, and girls are expensive, as they say, so.
I mean, we are. We have a lot of stuff that we need. So, yeah. Ma'am, is there anything you want to add or subtract from what he said?
Yes, Your Honor, I do feel that he's trying to take advantage of my new relationship.
Okay. Tell me about this new relationship.
Well, I can't really help who I have fallen in love with. So my new husband is a fantastic provider. However, I do get an allowance, and it isn't as much as you would think coming from. Well, my husband's a CEO of an energy company, so you would expect a huge allowance, but obviously he has to protect all of his hard-earned income.
What type of allowance do you receive?
About $500 a week.
$500 a week. Okay.
Dad seeks extra financial help for his 12-year-old daughter, Autumn, highlighting the increasing costs of her growing up teenage. Activities like volleyball can spike family expenses by up to 30%, putting financial strain on co-parenting households. This case reveals how child support adjustments become critical as children enter high school age with transportation, athletic, Gear and extracurricular costs becoming significant financial considerations.
It isn't that big a deal. I mean, obviously.
That big a deal in terms of the amount of money, or you paying child support for more in child support for the child living with him and having increased expense?
Well, I don't think it's that big a deal to Mr. Kennedy because he has a pretty healthy income himself.
But you do understand his income does not have anything to do with an increase in what you should be paying in child support, right?
Yes, I understand that, but what I
Okay.
don't think has been considered yet is the fact that I set aside furthering my education, though I wanted to pursue that, so that he could go get his MIS degree and then a master's in something. So I'm not sure that it's fair.
That's not how this works. And sir, she says she gets a $500 a week allowance from her husband, and who is a CEO of an energy company. Briefly, how much money does your husband make?
I'm really not sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's a lot.
It's a lot?
I think so.
When you say a lot, is it like in the 200,000s, 300,000s?
Well, the car that he drives was about 200,000. So I'm thinking you'd probably have to
You
make
only
more
get a
than that.
$500 a week. You know what? That's not my business. That's not the reason I'm here. I'm not going to even entertain that.
That's what I was thinking too.
I'll just move on. Sir, do you know how much money her husband makes a year?
I don't, but he's the Steve Jobs of the town.
In divorce cases, spousal income often becomes a contentious point, but courts strictly evaluate child support based on the individual parent's earning capacity, not their new partner's wealth, the judge's firm stance underscores. That child support is about parental responsibility, not leveraging a new marriage's economic status.
Let me ask you this. Are you expecting her child support to be based on his Steve Jobs?
No,
Yeah.
his success has nothing to do with me or my daughter or our
Okay.
daughter. And like I said, I just want a little more help because she's
Okay.
getting older. And, if she's happily married with whoever and how big his wallet is, that is totally up to her.
Okay, well, I'm glad that's not what you were doing because you can't do that anyway. But what we can do, ma'am, is make you pay more in child support because at this point you've been paying zero. Because from what I see, you're a stay-at-home mom, which is absolutely okay. But you do understand that your child has increased expenses, correct?
Yes, I do see that.
Okay,
but
so after yes, I do see that, that means that I don't need any further response. So you understand that, right?
well, how much are we talking about?
We're going to base it off that $500 a week allowance that you make.
Okay.
So, based on that, I have your gross at $2,000 a month. After you take out the calculations for the taxes, your net comes out to $1,662.53. Okay? That would give you a child support obligation of $266. However, you also heard him say that he pays $130, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
In medical insurance for the child. You're going to have to reimburse that to him. So, in addition to the $266 a month for child support, you add the $130, your child support obligation monthly comes out to $396.